A lot of people are gonna make mistakes, especially influencers. As tensions are high, there's a lot of eyeballs on everything right now, and there has been a good sense of insensitivity. But no matter how angry it makes us, we need to act carefully, because hate will not make you feel better, nor the person being hated on. So one of my biggest passions in life is health. And I don't think there's a more relevant time to focus on health given the current situation that's going on with the whole coronavirus pandemic and all the chaos. In addition to that, it's also March, which is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. And as of now, it's been 2 years since I've been declared free of colon cancer.
Because all the lymph nodes were negative.
Or my current situation as I've progressed since that time in my life. My immune system is strong, red and white blood cells are back to normal. I have no more physical pain, numbness, or any lasting effects from the chemotherapy. All the physical ailments completely disappeared after 1 year. And I think part of me just wants to feel normal again, which at this point I do. I've moved on from all the pain and suffering that I had to go through, and whenever I go back and think about it, it's like it's still a fresh wound that has never completely healed. Or when I go back and tell that story, you always have to relive it a little.
Ayoko mag-usap. I don't want to talk to anyone. In the
middle of the night, I'll just go out and exercise and run. Just stop thinking.
You just shut down, and then it's like, I've never felt fear like that before,
Fear is one of the most dangerous forces in this life we live, and it could do one to two things of you. It can either make you crumble, retract, and completely debilitate you to the point that you don't even want to live anymore because you're so scared. I've hit rock bottom and experienced just that. But on the other hand, fear can make you stronger by making you realize that you have the power to act logically, strategically, and have the ability to do great things. No matter how much fear is deep within you. The thing that got me out of bed every day during those tough, dark times and the late cycles of chemo is the fact that it gave me purpose. Even at the time I was going through my treatments, it was never easy to film my emotions and document the whole experience. But I felt the need to document the process because, for one, I'm a vlogger, and aside from creating videos as a passion, it's also my job, it's my livelihood. I knew I had a really strong will, and I believed I could really get through this and offer a good example for everyone else out there who is facing the similar type of adversity. Showing people how to live with a particular mindset that will lead them towards a simple happiness or overall fulfillment within themselves. How to maximize life and the attitude that should be assumed to help gear you towards success, regardless of your culture, religion, background. This has been the main purpose of my vlog since day one, and going through any challenge, especially the challenge of battling cancer, only amplified my advocacy and enhanced the effects of what I was trying to do. One of my favorite lines from the book Game of Thrones is when Eddard Stark is asked, "Can a man be brave if he's afraid?" And his response, "That is the only time a man can be brave." Every time you overcome an obstacle in life, there will be some sort of fear associated with that challenge that you face. And every time you survive that challenge, you build up confidence, break down that barrier of insecurity, and essentially level up who you are as an individual. This is one of the most powerful phenomenons in life. This is what defines us, how we as individuals react in these moments of uncertainty.
Are we gonna panic? Or will we be able to think clearly, act strategically, and fight through the storm?
Diamonds are built under pressure, and leaders are created in times of crises. And anyone can be a leader. That just means maintaining a positive attitude, instilling hope within yourself, and ultimately the people around you, because energies are contagious. I've received messages from people who told me that watching my videos was the reason that they decided to go through with chemotherapy. And if it weren't for those videos, they wouldn't have been able to complete the treatments or even attempt them in the first place because they were scared. From everything they have heard or from what other people told them, they didn't want to initially go and try the treatments out. I still continue to receive messages today from cancer patients and their families who've told me that watching my videos and the process going through it was able to lighten their mood because of the positive attitude that was able to be maintained while going through the tough situation. And it has inspired them to keep fighting and has lightened their mood and made the process a little more bearable. Hopeful. The thing is, every single person out there has that strong willpower deep within them. Sometimes they just need someone to help them find it.
How has your whole experience changed your life, the process?
Wow, what a question. I can talk about this for an hour maybe. But yeah.
One of the most powerful advocacies I was part of last year was the Strong for Someone campaign. This is a community of cancer patients, their families, organizations, and doctors who provide support for cancer-stricken individuals. From financial support to emotional support, this campaign is here to help. To be honest, it was really tough for me to speak at the first event. It was the first time I had ever speaking about my story in depth in front of a live audience. And I ended up crying on stage, going back while I was detailing those tough and difficult times and the later chemo cycles and everything.
I was so terrified the last one. I feel a little better since I broke the ice, but the last one, my girlfriend showed up and so did my manager, my best friend, and it's good. It's Strong for Someone. It's all about support. They show up to support me, but I wasn't expecting it. So I was crying on stage, but here I'm gonna try and keep things light,
But as tough as that was for me, I knew it gave insight to the people out there watching. And the whole Strong for Someone campaign really reminded me why I decided to share my journey in the first place and the importance of telling my story. Because others could learn from it and it could provide hope.
We all kind of get lost in just, living our lives and going along, and you never think that one day it kind of can be the end. You never really know. For me, I think one of the most valuable lessons I learned about it is we don't know how long we have, on planet Earth, and you really have to make the most of it, which sounds cliche, but it's so important with what you do with your time. How do you want to make an impact and everything? And it really makes you think, what's your purpose?
When I think about it, what are one of the characteristics that really is responsible for my own personal success and happiness and everything in general, it is empathy. Being able to relate, understand, and communicate a message that will positively influence someone's life.
It really made me find a reason of what is my purpose and what I want to do with everything is what makes me happy, and that is what I do in motivating other people. I just want to set a good example and show that this isn't the end, it's only the beginning, and as long as you have a positive mindset, then you can get a long way.
Empathy is what got me to where I am today, and it is what we need more than ever as a community.
Mistakes. A lot of people are gonna make mistakes, especially influencers. As tensions are high, there's a lot of eyeballs on everything right now, and there has been a good sense of insensitivity. But no matter how angry it makes us, we need to act carefully, because hate will not make you feel better, nor the person being hated on.
There's so much negativity online right now due to everyone's current situation given the whole COVID thing. And it's because when we as humans are stressed out or frustrated, we tend to lash out and spread our anger in an unpleasant way that never conveys the message that we're trying to induce.
I myself I will admit I made a big oopsie last week. I saw a video of one of my all-time inspiration and idols, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I've interviewed, and if you haven't seen that, you should check the link down below. He posted a video that he was riding his bike around Los Angeles. And this was week 1 of the quarantine, the first few days.
Now I'm out on a bike ride because it's the only thing you still can do outside the house with no social contact. Doctors recommend this is the only thing you should do. Don't get out of the house if you're past 65.
I looked through the comments and everything was positive. So I hopped on my bike and I did the exact same thing. I rode around, thought it was okay to get some exercise, get in some sunlight. And although I believed what I was doing was safe, I realized it was disrespectful to all the frontliners out there and everyone who's putting their health at risk to try and keep everyone indoors as much as possible. And there was a bit of ignorance on my end as I just believed that I wasn't harming anyone and abiding by the curfew rules, but ultimately it's about respect. One fascinating takeaway though that I got out of this was really to just witness the attitude of the people on the streets. They were not as panicked and worried as is mostly portrayed on the news. I mean, not stepping out of my house for the first few days of the quarantine, I already started thinking like it was an apocalypse out there, just this heightened state of calamity, worry, distress, whatever. But just like any calamity that we've experienced in the past year, the people were smiling, laughing, and showed a joyous resilience in this fearful time. Yan talaga isa sa mga pinakamagandang katangian ng Pinoy, is in a time of adversity, smile pa rin. Now, my intention was to get insight from what it's like for the people in the barangay, somewhere separate from this bubble that I live in, because as I mentioned previously, one of my goals is to reach out to as many people as possible and to relate to all sectors. And sometimes that requires getting different perspectives aside from my own. This is still something that I want to do just in the right way, and I think it could be a really cool community collaboration. A lot of people have been sending me videos of their situation, which I completely encourage.
About the actual scenario that happened here in China.
There's something pleasing about it, and I find it interesting to see all my viewers and where they are in the world and their similar yet unique situations. If you guys could take a video, make sure it's hamburger style, not hot dog style, kahit yung cellphone mo lang. Just let me know where you are in the world, in the country, wherever. Just make sure you're following your country's rules and regulations, and just briefly describe the atmosphere, the attitude, laws imposed, how people are coping around the area, etc. Maybe we could even do a video call with some of you guys to get some one-on-one perspective on what's going on. See, this is one of the most positive aspects of social media, being able to connect, collaborate, and relate to one another. So let's exercise this privilege and let's make something cool out of it. Again, I just want to thank you, the viewer, for contributing to this positive atmosphere and great community amidst all the online outrage.
There are many ways to help out, and there's a ton of good charities, which I'll link some below, but one in particular is One Voice Pilipinas, which I believe is the safest option because you can use a credit card, so you don't have to leave your house or go to a bank, and no matter what country you're in, you can donate. Now, only donate if you can, but if you can't, there are many ways you can help simply by just taking care of yourself. Happiness is actually one of the best vitamins for your immune system, because when you're sick or you're sad, stress will deplete your health and will make you only more susceptible to getting sick. Limit the news and Twitter drama as much as you can, because it could be taxing on your health, and personally I find it very tiring. It takes a lot of energy out from you. Focus on positive sources of information, whether it's a motivational video or even something that makes you laugh, simple entertainment, even if it's like TikTok. Positivity goes a long way, and it can really have a profound effect on the people around you. Empathy is what we need right now, and that's what'll lead to unity. Because it's really easy to let your emotions get the best of you and then go and type something mean online and kind of contribute to the mob mentality. But it takes effort to stop, think first, and assess if your words or actions will have a net positive impact on the situation.
The Strong for Someone advocacy, I want to thank you guys again just for reminding me why tell these stories and go back through the hardships and everything I face, because it's not for nothing. You know, there's a purpose for all of that. And a last shout out to everyone battling something, whether it's a disease, any type of challenge. I really hope that you can get through this.
Of all the challenges that I've faced throughout my life, the thing is, with every single one, I have become an overall stronger individual. And by the end of all of this, so will you, whether you know it or not.